Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back again to Recap Kickback. It's me, your host, Chappell, and I am back again to talk to you about all the Black entertainment news or whatever Black entertainment news we want to talk about, and to finish our review of Cross on Amazon Prime, starring Aldous Hodge. And with me, of course, as usual, my co-host, whose idea was to talk about Cross, but now we got to take this to the next level and finish off this project. It's Mari Forth. Mari, welcome back.
Okay. We heard you guys. Cross this, cross that.
Cross
Bring
that.
back
They loved
Jason with
it.
the soothing voice. The yada,
Yeah,
yada,
yeah, yeah,
yada.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whatever. We're back. So y'all better watch this and y'all better comment and y'all better
Yes.
leave your reviews. But
Yeah.
also, we love you. Yay. Thank you for being with us.
Right. As Mari said, we posted our first two episode review, kind of like our teaser into what Cross was on the YouTube page. And it got a lot of comments. A lot of people were saying, bring back Jason. Bring back Jason. So with us, of course, back again to talk about Cross and the Black Entertainment News of the Week is Jason Reed. Welcome back, Jason.
My God, happy to be back. Happy to have been requested apparently for so many times. Happy to be here to finish out what we started. Always got to finish what you start, folks. So I'm happy to be here to talk about the rest of Cross, which was an interesting experience. We'll get into the whole bit of it.
Yes, and before we do, of course, we want to thank you all for listening to Recap Kickback and for being with us here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/@recapkickback. And then if you're listening to us on our audio platforms, make sure you go and subscribe to the podcast, recapkickback.com/subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button on the podcast so other people can find it. Because I've seen a lot of Cross reviews out there, but I need them to find ours so they can become a part of the Recap Kickback family, because it's a good time here, and we are gearing up for the end of 2024, and so we want to end on a high note with a lot of reviews, a lot of comments, and a lot of interaction with the Recap Kickback fans. That said, we did not get a lot of Black entertainment news of the week because we did want to focus on getting Cross done. And so if you have any Black entertainment news, you can, of course, send it to us in our email, recapkickback@gmail.com, or you can put it in the comments if you want to and tell us what you want us to talk about next time when we're not reviewing another movie or a television show, because we will be bringing you more Recap Kickback content well into the new year. That's it. We do have something that we want to talk about. And I know Mari's very excited about this, but for all our YouTube audience, you might have seen this. Doechii had a tiny desk, and it was fire. Mari, what'd you think?
It was so good. Yeah, I the one thing I said, okay, I just want to talk about how good Doechii's tiny desk was, because I was like, am I about to get cornrows with beads in them? Am I about to get cornrows with beads in them? And I had to talk myself down and be like, no, because your head is too round and it looks kind of weird. You don't
Stop
like when
it.
you get cornrows with the beads in them. So I was like, okay, you're right, inner self. Don't get cornrows with the beads in them. But Doechii is such an amazing artist. Like, I'm pretty sure when we talked about the BET Awards this year, I talked about how last year's, I'm pretty sure the 2023 BET Awards, she killed that performance. And I didn't realize, until her album came out, Alligator Bites Never Heal, how such a different artist she is. You know what I'm saying? I went down a whole Doechii rabbit hole because that's as one does once you watch the tiny desk and all of that. And I stumbled on her doing her Genius, her Denial's a River Genius. And she really just talked about literally her career for over the last 3 or 4 years through that song and stuff like that. And I was just like, this woman is amazing. She's putting on for us dark-skinned Black women. I love that for her. And she just her flow, her style, that slick Rick storytelling rap style. I love that. And I feel like we very rarely get that in female MCs and stuff like that. So I love Doechii. I'm converted. I'm I downloaded everything. I need to know more. She just completely blew me away, because what it is from 2 years ago, that song has been in rotation for me for a long time. But
featuring Kodak Black?
I nope, we talked about that. I do not acknowledge that there is a feature on that song.
I'm just saying, there's just
I
a
do
feature
not
on the song.
acknowledge that there is not a feature on that song. There,
Okay,
it is literally just the song.
he was
There's
rapping.
no feature there. I didn't hear nothing.
Mari
And
takes earbuds out when when the connect back to
exactly.
that song comes out.
Like that meme.
Song over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got timed out. She's like, one, two, all right, he's done.
Exactly. Yes. Very that. And I'm not gonna lie, when I heard that song and I think Persuasion, she talks
Yeah.
about it in her genius about how like those are the songs that made her blow up, but they were the songs that were kind of killing her creativity. So I didn't write her off, but I just thought she was like another in a long list of like what we are getting for female rap, which everybody knows who listens to this. I love female rap and what it's doing nowadays. But I did put her in that same vein, but now I'm just completely seeing her in a new light. So she's amazing. If you haven't checked out her Tiny Desk and her Stephen Colbert performance, did you see that, Chappell? Her performance
I
on Stephen
did.
Colbert.
Well, I kept seeing the clips on Blue Sky where
Yeah.
it was like the Doechii and the Doechii clones as well.
Yeah.
They were all doing. I was like, oh, this is good, and they dropped around the same times, right, Mari? Like probably in the same week.
Yeah, I think it was in the same week, the Tiny Desk and the performance. But like basically Doechii and two other girls who are like look exactly like her are like their cornrows are connected to each other. I've watched that video so many times. Like, oh my god, can you imagine trying to do that choreography without like your head like tucking another person?
That could be a
Oh my
disaster.
gosh.
Disaster.
Exactly. So I mean, she's killing it right now. So shout out to Doechii. If you haven't been checking out all the stuff that she's doing, go check it out. Her album, again, Alligator Bites Never Heal. I think she's nominated
3 Grammys.
3. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. Yeah, so 3 Grammys. So check it out. She's amazing.
Yeah, best new artist, best rap performance, and best rap album for Doechii. Obviously, I like Doechii. Mari, you're a fan. You even named your daughter after Doechii. Her name is Jayla.
I don't understand.
Her name is Jayla.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Doechii?
That's Doechii's name?
Is that her real name?
Did you go down a rabbit hole or not? Did you go down a rabbit hole or not? You a fake fan.
That was a bunny hole. That's a bunny hole. It's not a rabbit hole. That's a
Thank
mole
you,
hole.
Jason. I don't. I the character, the rapper, not the person.
She didn't Wikipedia, Chappell. She just watched some
Thank
YouTube
you,
videos.
Jason.
That's where you start. You start on the Wikipedia.
I did not claim to be an expert. I am not the type that says I watched a few YouTube videos and now I'm an expert on the subject.
Yeah. But Doechii, known as the Swamp Princess, was on NPR's,
from
NPR
Tampa.
Music. Yeah, NPR
Family
Music's
there.
Tiny Desk concert, and so she had a full band, 2 background singers. My favorite part of the Tiny Desk was the last song where they do everybody gets a solo, and like the drummer gets a drum solo. Everybody, I was like, oh, I loved it so much. It was so good. She ate, and you could tell that she's a hip hop fan because she has so many elements of other hip hop artists from the past. Like there was where she was giving me Missy Elliott vibes. There were moments where she was giving me like you said, kind of like the Slick Rick vibes or whatever. Like it was just, there was some Tupac in there. I said, oh, she's done her homework, you know, and I love that. I love anybody who you can tell they've studied their craft and they've gotten really good at what they do based on the fact that they're talented, but they're also putting a lot of effort into creating a good project. And so, I think one of her quotes, she was talking about this song Black Girl Memoir from her album All the Places You'll Go, and she said that she wrote the song specifically for Black women. As a dark-skinned woman, there's a very unique experience that she's trying to internalize, and this is dedicated to all the beautiful Black women in the room. And so she's been on the rise since 2024, but it looks like she's going to be a household name going into 2025. So shout out to Doechii, shout out to Tiny Desk as well for highlighting a lot of Black artists. I remember when they pulled out the Juvenile last year, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, all right, Tiny Desk was speaking to me. So I'll be tuning in, of course, to Doechii in the future, and hopefully she gets some of these Grammys that she's nominated for. But yeah, that's our big entertainment spotlight. And now we can talk about Cross. Jason, I'll start with you. I know that when we talked about the first couple episodes, you liked it, but you definitely had some like points where you were like, there's some things that I liked, didn't really like. There was some you had some like problem areas, some growth areas for the show through 2 episodes, but we've seen it all now. How do you think Cross was as an entire season?
I think as an entire season, I was impressed by the product overall. There were some things with the story at the end that felt rushed, felt a little too easily closed. And I will say the twist at the end of like who the true villain was in the family portion
Portion.
of
Yep.
Cross's cases
Yep.
was really good, if not really utterly unbelievable. Like I was just like, I get it. Like I see what you did. It's an impressive twist, but I was like, but it fell a little flat for me. And
Yeah. Because I saw it coming.
the big reveal was like, okay, as soon as we heard like he had a mama on the streets, I'm like, who have we met that could fit that
Who
description?
could
Like,
that
Yeah.
okay,
person
got you.
possibly be?
And the way they kind of executed it, I was just like, I don't know. I didn't feel great
Yeah.
about it. Mari, what did you think of that twist?
No, I completely agree. As somebody who on the last podcast was like, this writing, I'm excited, everything, da 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 da. This did feel like that horse drawing, like the Game of Thrones meme, the horse drawing. Like it was very detailed in the beginning, but it fell off in the end. It truly did to me. I was like, I didn't really care what they did with the fanboy, how they wrapped the fanboy killer up, the twist with the family portion. Like I think when did I clock it? I saw it coming at least a whole episode before. I was like, oh, like once they introduced like the white girls portion of it, I was like, what? It was just so many elements that I was just like, this is a lot.
And it kind of came out of nowhere as well. The
right.
The guy, the man that was tormenting Cross really kind of came out of nowhere. He wasn't really introduced to us ahead of time.
Yes.
So it's just like, who is this guy? Why do I care? Why do I care that he doesn't like Cross? It didn't come across as authentic to me.
He got like pushed to the side.
Yeah, and pair that with the kind of out of nowhere reveal of this of I don't even remember her name.
I don't.
Nancy.
Of Nancy. Yeah, come with the heel turn of Nancy was just like, okay, like it feels by the end of it, I was just like, okay, and I didn't really care about it, which I think is the problem with having these dual storylines in this 8-episode season of TV. Neither plotline got as much time as I felt it deserved.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, it's all about the timing, because I agree with Jason. Because in the books, it really be like this.
Yes.
It truly be like this. It's like Alex has to deal with a work stalker killer, and then Alex got to go and deal with somebody stalking his family. Like after we watched the first few episodes, I finished the season way back when, and then I went back to try and get back on the books, Jason, and I actually finished reading Alex Cross Run. And I was like, well, let me start here. I kind of remember this one, but let me start here. I listened to that one. And then I realized, I was like, I've listened and or read to the 4 other books after it. So I was really trying to remember, like, I was really like, freak, where did I end this? So I might actually have to ask you for a synopsis of Hope to Die once we get off podcast, because I'm trying to, nobody will give me a full book spoiler. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for full book spoilers, because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I read these books, but I need the spoilers to remember that I read these books.
I'll have to look to see which one that is, because all of them have the Cross name in them. So I forget which plot goes to which book. So I'll do a quick refresher and then give you all the spoilers. But so since you've definitely, like, since you have just finished the Alex Cross
literally
book, what did you think overall of the depiction of Alex Cross? Was it true to the books? Because I have a certain feeling about that.
So that was the thing. So that was the thing. So I read Alex Cross Run, but after I read that, I was like, oh, okay, because it's been so long. But it was literally one where a guy was stalking his family. That's
happened like 5 times throughout the Alex Cross Run books.
I know, Jason. I promise I'm about to place it in time for you. And where they think that their adopted child dies, they think when they first think she dies.
Yes.
And it was the one where the guy like antagonizes him to the point where he punches him.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this was kind of fortuitous that I chose this book to read, because in this book, Alex Cross really does lose his shit. And the whole time I'm listening to the book, I'm like, dog, just leave this guy alone. But he doesn't. And the guy like really goads him into like punching him, and then goads him into like, and it's recorded, and it's the police brutality thing. And he has to give up his gun, the whole shebang. So everything that we saw in this season of Cross. So once I watched the whole season, listened to the book, went back to watch the last few episodes to refresh my memory, I was like, okay, I guess this is kind of actually closer to the books than I had remembered. He did lose his cool at least in that book, and a few times. So yeah,
I get that, but it doesn't happen very often, right?
It doesn't. It felt over the top here.
Yeah, in the show, it felt like it happened a lot. Like Alex lost his cool a lot. He would go off the deep end, especially in the episode where he's at the birthday party with Ed Ramsey, and like, you know, he pretty much tells Ramsey that he has him pegged as the killer, and then Ramsey, without too much provocation, gets Alex to completely lose his shit. So I was just like, that doesn't really ring too true for me for Alex, and it happened a few times in the span of the episodes. I think I mentioned in the first couple episodes we covered where he almost fought one of Elle's dinner guests over just the whole like black cop thing. So I was like, he kind of lost his cool a little too much for me in the series, in the TV, in this one season of TV.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it got better as it went on, honestly. I thought the first two episodes, I thought I was tripping because y'all liked them so much. And I was sitting here like, oh, okay. You know, but I think I kind of hit my stride. I'm toward the middle. I think the episode you're talking about where they're at Ed's birthday, that's my favorite episode of the season.
Yeah, that's a standout. That was a standout episode for sure.
I mean, it was so good. It really was.
Yeah.
It was a whole lot happening. I definitely want to get into that, but I agree. I think I didn't really see the twist with I keep calling her Ronnie from Schitt's Creek, Miss Nancy, who played by Karen. Like I saw that, like, obviously we were going somewhere where that lady was going to be important because why is she here? But I didn't see it coming.
And she all of a sudden was just with the family all the time. I was just like, oh, okay. And then she goes, you know, I have a very secluded cabin up in the whatever. Like, oh, okay.
There's no secret out there, but that's what we go in, you know? Yeah. So that was kind of where I started seeing that. But there were bigger twists that I thought were very good and well done. But in like, it's like if you're not paying attention, you don't see it coming, and then it happens. You're like, oh, I should have saw that coming. Like there's this moment where there's a witness who is in witness protection, and he's stuck with this detective who is pregnant. And I'm like, if they got the witness, this is about to end 2 episodes too early. It'd be crazy if that detective, and then boom, she shot him. I said, I
didn't see that coming. I will give them that.
So when we were in the hotel room, I was like, what's gonna happen here? First of all, why is the chief of police watching this witness? I was like, that's not cool. And then I got worried for the chief of police who was pregnant.
She's pregnant. She needs to get out of there.
Yeah, because something bad's about to happen. Like, we've all seen this movie before. Like, this witness is not going to make it to the stand. So something's going to happen. So I was worried for her for a second. And then she pulls out the gun and shoots him in the head. I was like, oh, it's like, okay, cool.
That was the craziest thing. Because he was like focused like on her stomach or something like that. And she like out of nowhere, like off frame.
Yeah. I almost thought I thought he was going to kill her. I thought someone else was going to come and kill both of them. I was just like, I didn't think they would actually kill a pregnant woman on TV. That's a little like too far. Yeah. But I was like, what's about to happen here? And then she kills him. Like, oh shit! Like that. You're right, Chappell. That was a really good twist.
That was
not
coming.
It got me.
And then her explain like IVF is just so expensive, and I was like, that part was really good. But I was also like, why is everybody doing everything this man tells them?
See, that's one of the things that I have issue with, right? Because and it's one of the things where I say we weren't able to invest enough time in Ed Ramsey and who he is and why he has a seemingly cult following of people that are willing to do his bidding. Because we see the one guy that's like his assistant that's doing stuff for him all the time. We see the plastic surgeon lady that's working for him, but why are they following this man? Because they seem to be following him like a cult leader, like you know, as part of this this organization of people that like to do these crazy things, but we don't get enough reasoning of why they are following him and why he is the way he is.
Yeah, well, I
Exactly.
definitely had questions about that for sure. Like even when so we start off and as we talked about episodes 1 and 2, Ed Ramsey is stalking Shannon, and she is his next victim, who will be, he's going to be trying to make her look like the serial killer, who I will be asking Mario about shortly. So Mario, get your notes ready. But like he's trying to get her to look like her, and the way they capture her, we talked about it. She's at a coffee stand, and the coffee guy is like, Ed Ramsey, we got her. It's like,
Yep.
why is he on it? And so that's who tips him off to we got a girl who looks like her. And then at some point they go to that exhibit, that Dexter exhibit, and she's supposed to check her phone in. Hey, let me take your phone. There's no phones allowed in here. The phone taker guy, he's like, and rerouting her calls. It's like, why are you in on it? And so for me, it's like he has two different things going on. On the one hand, he has this cult following because he is a serial killer, and he's putting like this manifesto out. He's got on the internet. He's got these other people who are crazy who are following him. And then on the other hand, he's blackmailing a lot of people because he got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money and he's got a lot of resources. The man is filthy rich. And so it's like for people like Bobby, who was working for him, Bobby was there for the money. For that one older lady, she was there because he had dirt on her. Her husband was a pedophile. So it's kind of like his bases were covered in two different ways, and it's like depending on who you were talking to, they got a different reason for why they were following him. So like the plastic surgeon lady, she's in on the serial killer thing. She's like, nah, I'm about this life. Let's do it. But then detective pregnant lady, she's like, nah, I needed my baby, and he helped me pay for it. Like, so he's got hands in everybody's pockets and everybody's lives, and nobody can get around it. And so that was like part of the thing that I had to wrestle with the most. Is like, how does he have so much assistance? Yeah. Anytime you try to get the ball on him, there's somebody else who's working in his pocket. So
was she a senator lady? Even saw him like punch Shannon in the face.
Oh my god,
it's the same lady. The lady whose husband is a pedophile.
Oh yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a couple really standout scenes for me, and that one where Shannon escapes and that lady witnesses Ed punch Shannon in the face, and just like what the hell? Like that was one of the standout scenes for me. Like calmly tells her like, you saw nothing. Like, remember I still got dirt on you, so you saw nothing at all. That was one of the really standout moments for me of the series. I actually loved Shannon and her fight during the back half of the season, and how she was able to do a bunch of things like to try and resist him. Like it wasn't just a normal like, oh hey, I got you now, so you're gonna do what I say. Like she tried to resist like so much, and like the way she got away that one time was so great, and her recapture was so interesting during that whole like party episode.
I agree. Just however, that means we watched a whole season of a quote unquote serial killer, and we only saw him kill one person.
Yeah.
Well, he killed a couple people, but he only did one for his like manifesto. Only one person made the book, but a few other people died in the making of this film.
Technically, I guess before we come in, 10 other people died.
We saw him kill Amir.
11.
Yeah.
And then she was supposed to be 12. But I'm just saying it was just like not. I mean, it almost felt like I loved watching Shannon's fight. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it just felt like an elongated way to prevent her from dying. You know what I'm saying? Like
she was buying time the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time. Exactly. And it was just kind of like
but I think that's interesting though, to have to have this person that has this like reputation, right, of a serial killer that we didn't even realize was a serial killer until Alex steps in and says, hey, like I think this is like a serial situation. And then for us to be on this dogged pursuit of him before he can finish his last kill, because that was going to be his finale. And I love that we were able to like spoil his finale or whatever. Yes, but people had to die, but
we weren't invested in like I almost wish maybe we got a montage of the other victims or something like that, because
to really give us how big of a threat he is, how big of a bad guy.
Exactly. Thank you. To give it how big of a bad guy he is, to like really up the whole finality of it, because like this is the last victim, this is it, this is you know what I'm saying, to give that grandiose of like he's this close to completing his project type thing. Like I just couldn't connect to that because we weren't along for the ride. It happened off screen. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, I thought he was pretty menacing, and I thought he was pretty creepy as well. Like, there's that scene, I think, in the lead up to the party where, like, he puts on the mask and has a woman performing fellatio on him. Like,
Yeah, that
wow,
was
like
weird.
you are a
It was
real
weird.
creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish we saw all of the bodies in the book. Maybe that would have helped, but we
Yeah.
only saw like the last 3. It was like
Yeah.
they couldn't come up with 11 serial killers. They actually made up the black one for the black guy. So I was just like,
Oh, I didn't know that.
y'all. Yeah,
which is crazy
because I
was
looked.
like,
There's
I was well, yeah, I definitely. That's why I said I gotta ask Mario about some of this serial killer stuff in a minute for sure. But I completely disagree. I'm actually surprised, Mario, that was your takeaway as far as like the scale of it, because I felt like. And I think it might just be because you're desensitized because you watch a lot of true crime. But for me, seeing the book and hearing that, like, oh, he had blood from this person in the book. He had made, like, to me, just the sheer amount of work he was putting into the appearance of these people. When it came to Shannon, and he's like, nah, I gotta dye her hair. I gotta change the way her face looks. I gotta change her teeth. Cool. I was like, oh, this man is a madman. That was enough for me. I didn't need to see all the bodies. I was just like, oh, the fact that he's going through all of that just for this one kill, and she realized. I want to give a shout out to her because the first 2 episodes she was like moving like a dummy. That man catfished you. You didn't need that man catfished you. You had no business going on a date with him. Love yourself. Stand up. You didn't need a company that much. Okay. That man said, come to my house for some bacon. You could have said no. You didn't have to go there. But you did. You messed up. But from that moment on, she was locked in. She tried it all. She tried to flirt her way out of it. She tried to pretend she was down. Oh, murder. I love murder. This is crazy. We should talk about this over dinner. She tried everything in her power. She tried to fight that man. She other people was getting killed trying to save her. When she sliced her own face, I thought she was about to offer. I thought she was about to kill herself. I didn't realize what she was doing. She sliced her face, and he's like, "Damn, you messed up my project." And I was like, wow, Shannon, that was good. That was
and then
good.
He stole her right in the face. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, then he punched her. Yeah.
That was so brutal.
And when you think like, okay, the detectives in them, and they're like one step behind because we see everything and we already know who the killer is. We know what Shannon's going through. So they're about a step and a half behind. So they're like, well, if she hurt her face, then obviously he can't do his job because, there's no plastic surgeon in the world that can work that quickly. Then they cut to her and it's like, plastic surgeon shows up. Hey, I'm the one plastic surgeon who would do this. I also don't care that you're about to get murdered. Let's work.
Which was like, okay, lady, like he has to fulfill his masterpiece. Why do you? Okay, whatever.
Why are you interested in this? Why do you want to see this man? Because like the
people crazy.
The scene where he's about to kill her and like the plastic surgeon lady comes like to watch. The other weird perverted guy is just watching as well. It's like, why are you following him? Why are you interested in this? I feel like we didn't get enough info on that. I loved at the very end where Alex is like, nope, I'm not gonna give you credit for the other 10. Like, you did this one and that's it. And Ed Ramsey freaks out because he's not gonna get his whole credit. I love the little turnaround that Alex is on him in that way.
Okay, but also I was like, wow, this is all very illegal.
Yes, very. Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying since episode 1. Everybody who was talking about the police be corrupt, they're kind of right. They're kind of right.
Like they said, oh, we found this book on that black guy, which
it was a black guy
on Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
At that point, everybody should be like, oh, a black guy.
Right.
Black people are serial killers. Like, we don't do that. Like Mari said, they had to invent a black serial killer for this. Like,
they had the DC sniper in there. He was black.
Yeah, that's true.
Did they have the DC sniper?
They name dropped him. They said,
in the show, but not in the book.
No, and it was in the book.
It was in the book. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the book. So that's what I'm saying. They had somebody. Look, Bobby had pissed me off by that point that I didn't care. I was like, good.
And that's what it was. They were like, Bobby killed all these 10 people, and then you killed this one guy. But also this book, all of this evidence, we're throwing it in the fire. I was like, no.
I mean, it had to be like a reproduction or something. Like, I don't think they went that far.
Yeah, like that wasn't like.
That's insane to think about it. Because like in 10 years, he's like, I'm fighting my case. Like, okay, well, where's the state's evidence?
We might have burnt it. Could have been. But also with the Bobby thing, I felt like they really dropped the ball with Bobby because when we came out of the two episodes we talked about, I was like, okay, when you see more Bobby, and then Bobby was like barely in the rest of the episodes. So I was like,
he was trying to get some more money. Bobby was like,
money and
I mean, that's what he was in it for. He was in it for the cash. And you're right, though. I got a good hating to Bobby, and then eventually it was like, okay, well, Bobby can go.
Who?
You know,
Yeah.
Bobby,
yeah.
and that's kind of the funny thing to me, because Bobby was the one that I was like, oh, this nigga crazy, because
Yes. I will never
was
forget
the
that
one
hotel scene.
dancing crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. He was the person I was afraid of. So
Yeah, for sure.
No, Bobby just wanted a little money, and so he's trying to extort Ed Ramsey's character throughout. There are moments where the police and stuff are they're moving in, they're getting closer and closer to Ed Ramsey, and his eye is not on the ball because he is still worried about Shannon. Oh, Bobby just runs in. All right, look, I got Shannon now. I need $2 million. I need $2 million more dollars. You sprinkle a little bit extra on top, and all he could do was play ball with Bobby until they eventually seize Bobby's funds. They freeze his assets. And so now Bobby out here working for free. I said, hey, Bobby, you getting the short end of the stick here.
Yeah.
It sucked. There were definitely some really good moments, I think. We talked about some of the big moments. I do want to circle back to that birthday party, though. His girlfriend, this poor lady, she didn't ask for this. This man needs, I said it last time, I'll say it again. He should have been at therapy. They have a birthday party for this man, and at the birthday party they play the 911 call from when his wife got killed while he's with his new current girlfriend. And then the very next time we see the two of them together, they having sex. I said, you know what? You would do anything but go to therapy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Men will do anything.
The birthday party, I think you get the two things mixed up. The birthday party was where Ed was just was basically telling the story of Alex Cross.
Oh, no, I'm saying that's after the karaoke party is what.
The karaoke party was the 911 thing.
Alex's birthday.
Yeah. Which I think that was probably be accredited to Nancy and that other guy. And then Ed's out here
in the building.
Yeah, which I forgot. Mm-hmm.
Ed's out here.
Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry.
Telling Alex's story right in Alex's face, and then and then we get the whole Alex video of him beating that guy. So that Alex went through a lot in that birthday party, but the book Alex would have found a better way to get out of that situation instead of going off the deep end.
Yeah, literally telling his whole case to a party full of people who are a crazy person, don't care. Yeah, he looked like a crazy person in that. I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, well, it's like he's in a room full of white folks and they see him, the police, doing police brutality. They're like, that's disgusting. Wait, since when? Since when do y'all care?
They're talking just see, that's how they do. See,
that's how
them.
they do. You see it? Because he's a killer. Swear, they're like, you would say that. He was like, what? Boo, defund the police. All of a sudden, they're like, get him out of here. Arrest him, officer. What is happening?
Everybody's like, Ed would never. Ed could never kill anyone.
Never. He's like, he fits the profile. He just said he fits the profile. Get out of here. You beat up people. You beat up black men on the street. Get out of here. Y'all are right, though. If I'm supposed to believe that Alex Cross is going to be a effective detective, he definitely gets to get his mental health under control, because this was a complete story of somebody who does not have it. He was spiraling throughout to the point where his very own ally John is reporting him. He's like, yeah, it was me. I had to tell because you wildin'.
Yeah. Speaking of John, I think I might have said this when we met last time, but I feel like Isaiah Mustafa as John Samson stole the show for me in several different ways. I almost was can we get a Samson show? Because I kind of want to see Samson.
Samson.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorite moments of this season.
It better not be the one I'm about to complain about.
Oh no, it probably is. Is that when Samson gets shot, we're like, oh no, Samson's down. And then he comes in at the last second to save everybody. With X going to give it to you. Underneath, I was like, that does not fit the vibe of this show at all, but I love it.
Romeo Must Die all of a sudden. I was like, what's happening?
It's turned into a Fast and Furious movie real quick. But I freaking loved it.
Against an old lady.
Yeah. Poor Nancy. I was going to complain about this feud that he's having with Alex. Obviously, Alex is upset and wrong. That is loud and wrong.
Wrong,
Okay,
wrong as hell.
as wrong as he can be. They basically have a public breakup in the police
locker
office.
room.
Yeah, police
Yeah.
station. Yeah, where everybody outside listening. The black lady had to come in and break it up. Like, hey, y'all, chill out, because they can hear you out there. But they have to come back together at some point and do an apology. And Cross's apology was absurd. And all John says back is, "You had me a motherfucker." And I was like, "What is
Yes.
this?"
like Shaft out here, like Shaft. Like,
I was like, "You damn right."
damn right, yeah.
You're damn right.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
right.
we knew that was coming though. Like as soon as they had their little squabble, I was like, all right, they're gonna get back together like 2 episodes or whatever. But they had to have the little fight. That's cool, whatever. What did y'all think of the Samson and Kayla romance, which for me came out of absolute nowhere?
I'm not gonna lie. Kayla, I was like, who's this random white woman? Every time she kept popping up, I was kind of like, who is this again? Like, I kept forgetting who she was, and she kept just popping up randomly. And I was like, oh, she's the feds. She's the feds.
Well, I mean, for us book readers, Mari, she's like a gender swapped version of a very important character.
Is that who she? Okay, because I was sitting there like,
her name is Kayla Craig. So like that's for book readers, that should tell you something. And so I think this Samson and Kayla romance is going to turn into something interesting down the line, especially if they stay true to that character, which is going to be very interesting. Which also on the post-credit scene, which is like after the credits or whatever, where Kayla's talking to Bobby and basically telling Bobby like, yeah, I can get immunity or whatever, but I'm gonna need some of those contacts you have under the table, which Kayla may not be all she is cracked out to be. Let's just say that.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, that's a good point, because even in episodes 1 and 2, I was like, who she finna have sex with? Because she just keep popping up, and I couldn't tell who she was flirting with. She felt like she was flirting with Cross. Then now I'm like, okay, she with John Samson now. So when they started, messing around, I was like, I mean, I guess that makes sense. It did come out of nowhere, but they had to do something with this woman because she's just around all the time. But now that you're pointing out that this is another, probably another famous character in the lore, that's going to bring me to my next, I guess the next conversation I want to have is, we already know there's going to be a season 2 of this. And there wasn't exactly any cliffhangers except for that. That is like the one thing that we didn't tie up, because now we know who's been stalking Alex Cross. We don't really care anymore about none of the the protesters and none of that stuff. Like, none of that stuff mattered from episode 1 or 2. That was all just to get us to the to the serial killer of it all. But we have a season 2 that is coming, and I saw rave reviews for this show. I mean, people were all over my Facebook page were talking about you gotta watch Cross. People talking about Aldous Hodge as one of the better depictions of Alex Cross that we've had in media. I never watched the Tyler Perry one, so I don't know if how I where I stand on that. I'm just gonna assume better.
It was bad.
But wasn't Morgan Freeman Alex Cross too at one point? So so what we doing?
Yeah, I've never seen the Morgan Freeman movies, but I don't know.
Oh, you said last time. I keep forgetting.
The Tyler Perry one was awful. I felt like Aldous Hodge as Alex Cross was very good. Like I said, I did feel some discrepancy between book and show, but I thought overall he did a very good performance of Alex Cross. I thought that was good. But for the next season, when Nancy right before she dies, she tells Alex, I think it was like, watch out for my babies or something. And Alex thought he was talking about her fake children. She was like, no, that's what your wife said right before she died. She's like, but that's what I heard.
I forgot about that.
She's like, but that's what I heard. So I forgot her name again. She did not kill. She and her people did not kill. Yeah, Nancy and her people did not kill Alex's wife, but she knows who did. She heard about who did. So this is a more of a hint of an overall mystery / conspiracy about who killed Alex's wife, which I'm sure we'll get more into in season 2.
It's like people knowing Batman's parents is and your parents dead. Every 2 seconds.
And then they kill themselves and you can't do nothing with it. She said
that's so rude.
Yeah, she said, please don't hurt my baby. Oh, she said, my babies need me. And she's like,
Right.
he's like, your babies need you. And she's like, that's what your wife said. It was like, oh, shit.
Like that, right before she's on fire.
Yeah, she said, what she said, I'll pay in hell. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, Nat, I was like, she ate that. Hey man, I
I'm
had
so
such a
mean
fun
to this
time.
man.
I had such a fun time watching it though, but there were definitely moments where, to me, some of the episodes were dragging just a little bit, because they really want you investing in Alex's like family relationship with his kids. I thought the
Right.
child actors did very good, because they were asked to do a lot. There was a lot of like, "Hey, Daddy, you just pulled a gun on me. What's up?" There was a lot of that coming from like little kids, and I was proud of the kids even at the cabin. It was his son, Damon, who finds out like in the cabin, oh shoot, I think this is the lady. I think we're in danger. And he like slipped passing a note to his new stepmama, like, hey, could you, hey bro, we gotta get out of here. So
we got problems.
Funny.
Yeah.
We got issues.
But to me, I felt like there was a lot of like, they really wanted us to feel kind of the loss that Alex has had with losing his wife and stuff, where I didn't really need it. Because like we got all the flashbacks of him and his wife. I was kind of like, all right, come on, get back to the story, because that doesn't do anything if it's not moving the plot forward, right? But it was some big character moments, and I think it really allowed Alex Hodge to act and portray Alex Cross in a way that people really appreciate it. Because I see people talking about this is one of his better roles. I mean, I've seen Alex Hodge in a few things, but this is probably, I guess, my favorite thing that I've seen him in for sure. I don't know if y'all have a lot of other films that stand out for y'all. I heard he was in a good sci-fi film last year, or a sci-fi show as well. But I mean, this is better than what is he? Was he Hawkman?
Black. He was Hawkman in Black Adam, which was terrible.
He gotta be better than that.
But this is not going to beat Alec Hardison from Leverage for me. Like, I still love that character. I love that show. He did great in this, but that character for me is really great and really awesome. So if I had to compare the two, I would say I loved his Leverage role more than this. But it's it's not a far gulf in between the two.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Parallel. That's what it was.
Yeah, he's been one of those people where he's been in a lot of things, and he's been really good in the things, but I'm glad that this is finally like what feels like a standout role for him, because I remember him in One Night in Miami as Jim Brown. I love that movie. That's such a good movie to me.
We should talk about it.
Yeah, it feels like this is his first mainstream hit.
It is. I agree. Where he is like the center. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and he did really good.
Underground. I love.
Oh, I didn't watch Underground.
Underground was really good. He was amazing in Underground. Now that I think about it.
Okay, so maybe this is the top 3 out of project. But people are gonna be talking about this one for a long time. I can already tell. Like I said, season 1 had some rave reviews based on what I was just seeing in conversations. And so I'm looking forward to see what we have coming for season 2. Is there anything else that jumped out to y'all as like we really need to highlight in this? Mario, you never told me about the murderer. Shannon is made to look like Eileen Wuornos.
Eileen Wuornos, again, one of the probably the most famous female serial killer out there. She killed 7 men, possibly more, but she was convicted for 7. It was either 6 or 7, one of the two. She had a horrible childhood, like absolutely horrible childhood, to the point where she was a prostitute, servicing the Florida area, and depending on who you ask, she a very traumatic thing happened to her. So then she started killing men, and when she was caught, like she's just infamous. She was played by Charlize Theron in the movie Monster. Literally just one of the biggest names, like serial killer names. And like they said in this show, she was born on a leap year, February 29th. Her lethal injection actually didn't work the first time. And like
that was so messed up when they did that to Shannon. I was like, oh, that's messed up.
She was like, why am I alive? He was like, oh, we planned that too. I was like,
shout out to Ryan Eggold for being so freaking creepy in this Ed Ramsey role. Like he really brought it.
Yeah. And like I know that they were trying to get her like execution stayed after that, because like that's considered cruel and unusual, but they couldn't. and she did end up dying by lethal injection.
I thought that was some clever writing because remember, the whole point of Shannon's character is to draw out her death as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
And we have her. It has to be done on her birthday, right? And she's born on a leap year. We almost killed her, but the lethal injection didn't go through. It was just like every little roadblock that you could have to keep Shannon from dying would just pop up, and it was crazy because it, like you said, it's true to Eileen Wuornos. So it's not even like they just made it up. It was like they picked the perfect serial killer victim, or I mean serial killer to be the victim here, you know. So somebody who, if we follow the text, you know, like as he was doing for each of his victims, then yeah, these things had to happen. You know, she was definitely prolonging it in her own way. And again, I'm very proud of her. But you know, the lethal injection thing, I was like, dang, he got her. You know, like they shocked me. I wasn't ready for it.
And of course, it had to come down to like one button press. Like all I had to do was press one button, and she was dead. And we stopped him just in time, right before the clock struck zero.
Yeah, and I'd love to know what you think about Ed Ramsey's final stand. Okay, because he's dead to rights. They caught him in his office. What could he possibly do? They got the serial killer. He's going to go to jail forever. He grabs the syringe. He's like, nah, you're not taking me alive, coppers. And he injects himself. Only to pop up later on in the morning, like, haha, I'm not dead, bitch. I was like,
yeah.
What
I mean, we kind of saw that coming, right? Though, like, we see this in countless TV and movies of like, he's not gonna go out like that, right? Like, it's gonna be like something else.
But it would be different if
I didn't see it coming. I just thought it was goofy when it happened.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, if he did it to get away, I would have probably been like, oh, that's kind of predictable. But it was the fact that he did it because he had to kill her. He was like, nah, I still got to.
I love that.
Crazy.
I also thought like when he came back to life, I was like, okay, he's gonna escape. But no, this man is so dedicated to his cause. He's like, nah, I got an unfinished business. I gotta kill this bitch. I gotta go. Like, it doesn't even have to be in the way that I needed it to be. Like I just gotta get it done quick and dirty. Like
I really was wondering, was he gonna like try and like spike her something, you know, in order to kill her?
Yeah, I almost thought, I was like, is he gonna actually be able to kill her? But no, because they kind of faked us out with that realization Alex had. It's like that we thought it was about his family, but no, it was about Ed Ramsey. He's like, oh, like Alex is there to stop him just in time again. So I love that part of it.
He popped up booty ass naked, and then he went over, choked out the one guy. He goes to the computer, like, I know she in this hospital. I know she is. I'm gonna get you, Shannon. I'm coming, Shannon. I was like, dang, he's so dedicated. And I think that's the reason why, to me, his end was so fitting, is because like he was determined to go down in history as the person who immortalized all these serial killers. 12 specific killings in his exact way, down to a T. He's a perfectionist. He had OCD. Everything had to be perfect, to the point where her teeth had to be perfect. She couldn't have a visible scar on her face. He did all of that stuff just to put it in the book. So it's like, if I go to jail, I don't care, because everybody's going to be talking about me. And they said, not so fast. We're going to make sure they all talking about Bobby.
And then when Bobby comes to court, like, okay, Bobby, you got 10 bodies on you. But it's like, wait a minute, what? No, I ain't killed nobody.
Right. All Bobby got to say is, show me the evidence. And like, ooh, we burnt the book. We burnt the book.
Yeah, about that.
Bobby, you got away with this now, Bobby, but the next time we're going to get you. So yeah, I liked it. Like I said, to me it got better and better. The family drama kind of stuff, that one like I said, it kind of felt rushed, because you really only sit with the reveal of Nancy is the bad guy for like an episode.
2 seconds.
But when she turned, it was like, oh, she is evil.
That lady's scary. Yep.
Yeah, real. I love that.
Yeah.
Loved it.
No,
and the whole her making the white girl. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know their names personally.
Well, talk about it. She made Deidre, her adopted daughter, take the fall for her actual son. Yeah, street daughter was wild. Why did they keep calling her
street daughter? Yeah, take the fall. She even said, she's like, oh, hey, a little white girl with no record, you'll be out.
You'll be all right.
Yeah. And then Deidre was not all right.
Well, that's the thing. She's like, "You'll be all right, Deidre." Then in walks Alda. She's unrepairable. Sorry, therapy can't
she's
fix
broken.
this lady. Sorry. Lock her up, Your Honor. She's done. I said, "Damn."
Right, and then Cross was just kind of like, "I can't believe I said those things." It's like, why did you say those things?
It was only like a year ago.
Yeah. He said, "Man, I was wilding. That was crazy, man. I
But
really need therapy."
for them to have this vendetta against this one person who had this like one interview in court, it was just like,
Right.
wow, y'all are
Another
really out to
12
look for
jurors.
y'all out to look for some justice from somebody, like, because that was this one guy said this one thing, so we're gonna come after him and his family real hard, hardcore.
They were counting on her getting out of jail, and so they're like, "All right, we'll let you out as long as you're fixable. Let's see if somebody.
Yeah.
Let's see. We brought in a professor, and she fixable." He's like, "No."
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. She took her own life in jail, right?
I think after that she does.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. It's like she would have gotten out if it
but
wasn't for that meddling. That meddling psychiatrist in or
the woman who told her to take the fall.
We're not taking accountability today. We're gonna blame.
Don't blame the victim
today.
Yeah, we're not victim blaming. Okay. This was
but
fun.
Look, I thought it was really good. Like I thought it was great. Yes, I have some squabbles with it, but I thought overall it was a really good season of television. Had twists and turns, had me guessing sometimes. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for season 2. Like I really want to see season 2.
Yes, exactly. I really want to see where they go in season 2, because again, we said like they kind of made this case up, right? This is not
a book plot. So I'm interested to see if they take from a book next season, or they go with another original plot next season. I would like to see a book in live action.
Me too.
I would like that, but I didn't appreciate them coming up with this whole cloth.
I agree. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, Jason, but like I think this was a good test season to show how they can plot out, like, their 2 cases or however they want to do, so that hopefully they can adapt a book faithfully across the season, because that's what I want to see. I want to see a case from a book adapted across the whole entire season.
Yes.
Unlike how I was telling you guys, they do the Will Trent novels over on ABC, how they do a book and episode, and I was like, this is so
do you think that we're only going to get 2 seasons? Because right now we're told we're only getting 2 seasons, but if you think about it, shows like The Blacklist go on for 10 seasons with the same kind of model of just like kind of like Case of the Week, but with the overarching type of mystery that we can solve. There's got to be a way, because the way it was like received by the audience, and based on just like the fun conversation we just had, I wouldn't be mad if we got more seasons. I'm kind of giving them side eye for being like 2 and done. Even though a lot of times I'm the biggest complainer.
Yeah, I don't think they're saying that. They don't give out multi-season orders a whole lot. I just think they're going one season at a time. Like
they're saying season
2 does well, then we're gonna season 3, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think they're saying, you guys got 2 seasons because it's well known that James Patterson negotiated for 2 seasons up front.
Yeah, they go. So if season 2 does well, I'm sure they're gonna do a season 3. I think season 2, they announced it even before season 1 came out.
I think so too.
So I could definitely see us going like multiple seasons, because they definitely have a lot of source material, and they have shown they can make up a good plot on their own anyway. So
the thing is, it's Amazon Prime, right? So like, are they gonna keep with this model of dumping all 8 episodes out at one time? You know what I'm saying? Like,
probably, I mean,
that's a good question.
That's the thing, because I mean, Reacher does the same thing. Jack Ryan did the same thing. Most of their
does it?
Yeah, most of their things they dump out all the episodes at once.
Okay.
Yeah,
and I know people love the Reacher and the Jack Ryan series.
I like both of those series.
Yeah, James likes them both too.
I could definitely see if they like, I would be interested in a crossover of like a Reacher and an Alex Cross. That would be interesting.
Because they've done books like that. They've done
This is the 3rd biggest season premiere of 2024 for Amazon's Prime or whatever. I believe it was Fallout season 1 and The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. And so
that's pretty good. Behind
40 million viewers is nothing to kind of scoff at in a premiere, right? Like in 20 days, that in the first 2 days of it being.
The Boys?
I believe. Well, I don't know if did the boys have
Boys is
a season
fine.
premiere? They had a. Yeah, I guess
I think
so. I guess
so.
the
In
boys dropped
Yeah,
in
2024.
2024.
boys
Yeah,
is this year, right?
yeah. Then it beat the boys. Yeah, because it was Fall Out had
Wow.
65 million in 16 days. Rings of Power had 40 million in 11 days, and Cross debuted on November 14th, giving it 40 million viewers in the first 20 days.
Well, I can
So
see Cross outdoing. I can see like season 1 of Cross outdoing a season 5 of The Boys. Like we've seen The
right.
Boys a lot. Like,
That
but
makes
Cross
sense.
is brand new, so I can see that making sense.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
it's
that makes sense.
the third biggest launch for a Prime Video series and the sixth biggest launch of all time for the platform when 20 days of viewership were counted. So, I mean, it did
That's
numbers. So
awesome. That's
there's
awesome.
reasons to believe that it'll be back, and I like that because again, we
Me too.
complain here on Recap Kickback about us not getting a chance to really sit with shows, even shows that people say like, well, the first season wasn't good. A lot of times we don't get a second season to talk about it.
Yep.
I'm still mad, Mari, that we haven't. We I don't know if we need to reach out to Apple or what, but whatever happened to our Lakeith Stanfield show? What, are we never gonna go back to that?
I know it's just the rowing. That's all we're left with. Him rowing off
Yeah,
to the middle of the.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like
What was the name of
we
that?
talked the Changeling. We
Changeling.
talked about it, and we never revisited it. And I don't think I've heard anything about it at all. And so, you know, we want to give our shows chances to thrive, and you know, and to be enjoyed or even to get better. And so I think season 1 was solid. It was good. But it could be better, and it could be better if you give it more time. So we're gonna see what season 2 looks like, and they say it could be as early as 2025. So maybe by the end of next year, we'll be talking about Cross all over again. But yeah, hopefully we get the Changeling too. But Jason, thank you for joining us and talking about this show. Tell everybody what you got going on and what you're doing as we approach the new year, 2025.
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky at JR33D. You can find me on podcasts on the Rob Has Podcast Network on the Love at First Sight feed. Me and Asia Welch talking about the show Married at First Sight. Season 18, if you're into that, I've heard you don't even need to watch the show in order to love our podcast. So come check us out. You can also check me out on the Good Pod, where me and my co-host Marissa Garza talk about the show The Good Wife from back in the day. We also talk about current day Elsbeth, season 2, all in the Good Wife universe. So if that tickles your fancy, come on over and give us a shot.
Yes, and thank you again, Jason, for being with us. We have to get you back. I got some other content that we play with some ideas, but we're running out of time here in the holiday season trying to get all this stuff recorded. And so we'll try to keep more Jason content so y'all don't have to riot in the comments no more. Mari, what about you? What you got going on?
Of course, me and Sarah Carradine, True Crime Tuesdays over on the Crime Scene Podcast. Go to crimescenepod.com in order to subscribe. That's crime SEEN pod.com to subscribe. Please make sure you're subscribed. Even if you think you are subscribed, go check your Spotify's, go check your Apples. Make sure you are getting the most recent episodes. We just had an episode drop this week where we were joined by Sasha to talk about Bad Actor, a documentary on Hulu about an actor who ran a Hollywood Ponzi scheme. We had thoughts. So definitely go listen to us on Crime Scene Podcast. Type in Crime Scene wherever you get your podcast. I'm here every week, you know, maybe not this time. You know, like Chappell said, we might be on a little break because the holidays are upon us. But I've also been dipping in and out with Jason and Asia around Married at First Sight. We've been having lots of fun over there.
Lots of laughs.
A whole bunch of laughs. So if you want to, I've been on Blue Sky ranting about the ultimatum. So go follow me on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much. I'm not at the other place, so just go and follow me over there. So that's it for me. How about you, Chappell?
All right. And for me, of course, you can catch me here on Recap Kickback, but you can catch me in other various locations as well, including We Know Scripted TV, talking about the sex lives of college girls with Sasha Joseph. We are 4 episodes into the season, and we're dropping those every 2 weeks. And so come check us out over there on that podcast. And then you can catch me on We Know Reality TV, talking about Survivor every week with Rob Sesternino on the Club Condo podcast. Also did a preview for for the traders that will be dropping this weekend about Big Brother's own Danielle Reyes. And so make sure you tune into that to hear me rant and rave about my favorite Big Brother player of all time. And then, catch me here on Recap Kickback because we still got a lot of content. We still got a lot of content coming your way. Tyrone and I will be talking about The Madness soon. Coleman Domingo. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's great. And then Gia and I are bringing you some holiday content as we have already finished our mid-season finale of Abbott Elementary. It's on our YouTube page and on our podcast for the Abbott. We know Abbott .com, I guess, or we know Abbott podcast feed or whatever they're calling it now. Who knows? But you can catch it on Recap Kickback as well. But we got How to Ruin Christmas, the South African Netflix original series. Mari, it is cracked. I loved it. Loved every second of it. Me and Gia are doing a 3-season breakdown of How to Ruin Christmas. We already covered season 1, and that should be in your podcast feed for sure by today. And then in a couple days, we will drop the season 2 review, and then season 3 will be dropping. So we got holiday coverage coming your way, and it is Mari. It is cracked. I cannot stress this enough. If you have not seen the South African show How to Ruin Christmas, please go watch it because it is insane. And them is my people now. I love them so much.
I might gotta watch it over.
You gotta watch. It's 3 episodes. It's 3 episodes.
It's 3 episodes.
Season 1 is 3 episodes. Oh, okay. Season 2 is 4 episodes. Season 3 is 4 episodes. 10 episodes total. Watch season 1 and
they're like an hour and a half each.
They are an hour long. It's not even that. It's a quick and dirty. And when I tell you it is hilarious and it's messy and it is so much fun, G and I are going to be talking about it and dropping that podcast on you in these next few days. You should see it in your feed by now. So check that out. And then make sure you catch me in I'll be joining the Was It Good Though podcast. People talk about the Best Man Holiday. So that'll be dropping in their podcast as well. So make sure you go check me out over there. Show some love to those people, Jason and Jazz, over on the Was It Good Though podcast. Oh,
I'm on the Wicked podcast over on Scripted. Yes,
Mari talk about Wicked. Y'all know she likes to talk about Wicked, so go check out Mari talk about Wicked. I'm sure Mike Bloom is there too. Yeah. Mike Bloom, who I will be joining for 7 days of Squid Game coverage on We Know Scripted TV daily podcast for Squid Game season 2. Check that out with me and Mike Bloom. I got the Nothing But Netflix podcast with Rob's sister. We're going to be talking about the Aaron Rodgers show coming out. It's cracked. It's insane, but we're talking about it anyway. And I think that's all the plugs, but make sure you just keep up with all we have going on by following @Recap Kickback on all social media platforms so you don't miss anything. But for Jason, for Mari, and for myself, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. We'll catch you all next time. Happy holidays, and we will see you again when we come back. Peace. I've been trapped behind Suave Maria, isolated like it's North Korea. Smaller city with some bigger dreamers. The wall is cracked, I'm looking in between it. The world is yours, but man, I gotta see it. They say it's hard, but man, I gotta see it. The air I'm breathing can't feel my chest. Wait on life, I wanna hold my breath. I'ma get in my goddamn self.